Hello and welcome to A Few Moments with the Rev. I am Greg Johnson and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to be with you. I'm actually recording this on Sunday afternoon. Normally A Few Moments with the Rev happens on Monday morning, but tomorrow I have an extremely busy morning, and so I'm doing it this evening, and then those of you in various parts of the world can watch and, I pray, be helped by these messages. We have been doing a series that is entitled The 6 Spiritual Principles of Family Caregiving. And remember, we're always talking about families of origin and families of choice. This today is the 5th, but I want to review just the first 4 briefly so that if this is your first time listening, you will take opportunity to go to our YouTube channel, and the title of it, or the name of the channel, is Family Caregiving with the Rev, and you will find all 5 of them, for this one will be added later this afternoon. The first principle: take care of yourself. Before I can care for you, I've got to care for myself. That's giving out of our abundance. The second principle: focus on care, not cure. We are family caregivers. We are not family cure givers. We leave the curing to the medical profession, the emotional profession, and to the divine. The third principle: work to be in the moment. Don't spend your life in the past. The what-ifs, the should-haves, don't go there. And don't spend your time projecting or planning the funeral. That's one of the things that always happens. That's not perhaps the end of this particular story. Stay in the moment. Be present. It's a gift. You know that old saying. The fourth principle that we talked of last week is express your feelings appropriately, meaning we need to use the I messages. Now, you do this, you do that, you. No, because the care recipient is in enough emotional and physical pain. We don't need to compound that. But what we do need is to express how I'm feeling in trying to help you. And that can be best done through loving I messages. I really want to help you. I feel that I'm not doing everything that you would like. Help me to know how I can help you better. You'll be amazed at how that opens doors and allows the pain just to be a little bit less for the care recipient. Now, the 5th spiritual principle is this. And by the way, these 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving come to us from an organization known as Friends Indeed. That was an organization founded some 26, 27 years ago by the actor-director Mike Nichols and Cynthia O'Neill. And one of their founding members, Cynthia Burke, is the one who came up with these 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving. And we are deeply grateful to her for these, and I love sharing them. The organization is no longer in existence, but the work continues. It was one of the great gifts to the world of AIDS and to the world of family caregiving. Now, the 5th spiritual principle: seek to find meaning in the experience. Once again, seek to find meaning in the experience. Let me read to you what they've written. Even in the most difficult and challenging situations, you can find meaning, value, and purpose. You can always see that the roles could be reversed, and imagine how you would like to be treated. One of the things you'll discover as a caregiver, and this is so true, is that the quality of life is not determined by the circumstance, but how you and the person for whom you care perceive the circumstance. Let me read that last line again. It's so powerful. One of the things you'll discover as a caregiver is that the quality of life is not determined by the circumstances, but how you and the person for whom you care perceive the circumstances. That's a very powerful statement. Now, the first portion there, it talks about imagining the roles being changed. That is one of the gifts of being a family caregiver, because it says to you as a caregiver, when it is your turn to be the care recipient, and remember, we have these roles that we play at different times in our lives. There will come a time when you will be the care recipient. What is it that you want to have done for you? Have you written that out? There are a number of forms that need to be done by each and every one of us. I always say before death and needed after death. We need to speak of them. We need to fill them out. Perhaps with the care recipient that you're working with right now, that you realized wasn't done. Well, don't just fill them out for that person. Go home and fill them out for yourself, so that you are prepared and so that others know exactly what you would like to have happen. And I'm just thrilled to see Cynthia Burke has joined us. It was she, as I just told you, who created these for us. Bless you, Cynthia. Now, the last sentence, the perceiving of the circumstances. That is extremely important. And I'm going to be personal at this point. As many of you know, about 2 months ago, my mother passed away. She was 98 years old, and my sister in our family had been the primary caregiver because my sister lives in Wisconsin, where my mother also lived. And mother had been in an assisted living and then had a very, very bad fall, which proceeded to be the final part of her life. Throughout our lives, we had always talked about life and we talked about death. This was not something that was in the closet, and America has a grave problem with that. Death is something America does not talk about until often it's too late. So in our family conversations, we could talk about being grateful for the help that we were having. When she was in the assisted living, I went out on several occasions and together with the staff at that facility, we came together and talked about what the present reality was. What were the limitations that were brand new to Mother? We helped her to accept, and we all accepted, that these were new limitations. As certain parts of dementia began to be obvious, we began to talk of that. And then as she went from the assisted living into the hospital and then on to a rehab situation, that was the time, she's 98 years old, where Mother and Kathy and I began talking about the wonderful things that we had done in life, for some of the difficult things we had done in life, for the way in which we said goodbye to Daddy. And then we began to thank Mother and to let her know that whenever she felt she was being called home, it was okay to go. Because that's the story of all of our lives. We are born to die. And Kathy and I could walk with Mother, and it was true. We walked with her right until we put her hand into the hand of God. That's how I like to say it. But we were with her right to the end. And on the morning that the final moments were coming, my sister phoned me, and together we were able to have a time of thanksgiving for her life, to both thank her for having been our mother, and to send her into eternity with our great, great love, and tell her, peace, peace be still. Give our love to those whom you're about to join. And it wasn't long after that she went to sleep. Now, I'm grateful for those moments, and I know Kathy is. But beyond all of that, I'm grateful that we could be present, that we could accept the fact that death was present, that we could meet it with love, and that we didn't need to have regret once Mother had moved on. Yes, we missed her. Yes, we do miss her. Sunday afternoon is a very difficult time for me, for that was always, no matter what the week had held, and no matter where in the world I was, Sunday afternoon Wisconsin time, Mother and I had a long conversation. I now use it for prayer time, giving thanks, but moving on, staying in the present. So I urge you, no topics off limit when it's done with love. And its love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends, and it is so. God bless. Thank you for being with me for this, the fifth in the series of the 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving. Until next week, onward with love and caring. God bless, and thank you.